Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. So this week I'm getting to my planner pages a little later than I would like to, but with my new system, I can really write in my calendar appointments, pull some tasks in from my Notion board, and be ready to go for the week. So instead of doing my norm where I decorate with you and then I come back and plan out my week alone on Sunday evening or Monday morning, I'm going to walk through my complete setup for the week with you. The first thing that I do each week is go through my Google Calendar and just make a note of all the things that are happening this week. So Monday, I have Splunk training from 9 to 1:30. I have a Hitachi meeting at 3:30. My son has soccer at 5 on Tuesday. My daughter has an orthodontist appointment first thing in the morning. Then I have more Splunk training. Then I have a 1 o'clock meeting as well as a 3:30 meeting, followed by a celebration of life at 4 o'clock. Wednesday, I have 2 doctor's appointments and my son has a dentist appointment. And I'm not worried about neatness here. Really, I just want to make some notes so I know what I need to map out on my planner for the week. Once I have those things noted down, I am going to pull out my monthly spread. And there are some things missing from my monthly spread for this week, so I am going to go ahead and add those in real quick. And then I will look at my monthly spread and see what's missing from my list. I always try and cross-reference things. My Google Calendar does pull my work calendar in so that I can see that as well as any of my kids' sporting events. Those all go in sync to my Google Calendar, so it's always helpful to look at that. I do like to have an overview of my month as well, and I am thinking about tracking some of my goals on this page, so it's kind of important to me to look to see how much I got accomplished goal-wise versus how much was scheduled and blocked off for other things throughout the month to see if I made a good headway or not, given the time that I had throughout the month. The other funny thing about this particular week is my doctor's appointments were not on my calendar, so I'm not sure if I didn't put them on or if I put them on for the wrong date. I scheduled these a year ago. These are just yearly appointments, so it's weird that I didn't put them on. So thankfully I got reminders about them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shown up for 2 doctor's appointments. I guess no system is perfect, right? So then as I'm looking over the week, the other 2 things that I don't have on my notes yet are my sister-in-law's birthday is Friday and another friend's birthday is on Sunday. So I definitely want to make sure those make it into my weekly planner. I'd love to send them cards or notes of some sort. So I want to make sure not to forget to write those down. Based upon what my calendar looks like, I then like to go through and figure out which days I'm going into work. My normal at work days are Tuesday and Thursday, but since I have training half the day on Tuesday, I think I'll take that at home. Wednesday I'll be off for doctor's appointments, and Thursday I'll go in, and then I might go in on Friday as well. So now I'm going to start laying out my Passion Planner pages. These are free and available on their website. I will link this down below. I felt like the vertical layout from Happy Planner just wasn't working for me as well as it had been, so I wanted to try something different. This is kind of time blocking, but I don't quite use it as a time blocking tool. I do like to block things out if I have appointments or doctor's appointments or trainings or whatnot. I do block them out like you're looking at right now, but in general, I just kind of write tasks in between these events. But the first step that I normally take is to just take a highlighter. This is a friction erasable highlighter in case I need to make any changes, but I like to just draw the blocks of time that are already scheduled out, and this way I can tell if things overlap. As you can see, I already have something overlapping here. I have a meeting at the same time as I have training, and then I can make a decision about if I need to ask them to reschedule the meeting, if I can leave training early, if I just skip the meeting. So this helps me make these informed decisions, and that way I can communicate with people what needs to happen. I know that I'm a very visual learner, and looking at this drawn out like this, even if I didn't write anything else in, if I just drew it out so I could tell what conflicts there were, this would be a huge help to me each week. So this is one reason why I do this. I also like to do this because I can then look at the calendar and see the chunks of time I have left during the day. So on Monday, I have a little bit bigger of a chunk of time than I do on Tuesday. Wednesday, I come to another problem where my doctor's appointment overlaps with my son's dentist appointment. And normally, my husband and I would just divide and conquer, but he was out of town all last week and is playing catch up at work. I also know that Wednesday will be the busiest day of month for him. Since he is in finance, it's very regular, but I didn't think about that when I scheduled the dentist appointment. I also forgot that I had the doctor's appointments. He would have been able to do it since it was at lunchtime, but like I said, he's trying to play catch up. So I don't want to put him in that situation. So I will work out other transportation for him. And on Friday and Sunday, those highlighted sections will be for birthdays. I do like to know which days I'm going to be off and which days I will be at work for sure, just so I can visually think about those things. And then when I start to do my meal planning, I can incorporate that into my meal planning as well. So let me go ahead and actually write in what these blocks are real quick. I do like to highlight them when they're done. I don't color the whole box in, I just highlight the words in the box. But when I finish each thing, I do like to highlight it just so I have some accomplishment at the end of the week. I also will just write tasks in between during the blocks that are open, and I will highlight those as I complete them as well. And this is not your traditional time blocking. However, I do like to just look at my week and see where I have big blocks of time so that I can either just knock out a ton of small items all in one sitting, or I can just say, okay, Thursday I have no meetings all day. I'm going to be at the office. What is one big project that I need to get done? So for example, I have a whole wall full of surplus that I need to process and inventory and get ready to get shipped off site. And I have to be on site in order to do that. And it's going to take a good chunk of time. So even though I have it somewhat ready to go, I need to verify that everything's correct. The components are out of the hardware, and I just need to make sure that everyone's on board with getting rid of those things. So that is a good thing to do on Thursday. There will be people around that I can make sure that they're okay with those pieces going to surplus. So I think I'll just go ahead and write that in when I get done recording. But I do spend some time with my schedule here, as well as my Notion list of tasks, and try to match up what I can fit in each block of time each week. And now that our schedule has been laid out for the week, I like to get my meal planning taken care of. I do have a bunch of freezer meals that I need to inventory, but I don't think I'm going to get that done this week. I do know that I have plenty that I can go and pull if I need to, but Monday we are going to have a bit of a later dinner since my son has soccer, so I'll have plenty of time to prepare that, so I decided we'd do chicken parm. Tuesday, my husband will be at the celebration of life, and I'm pretty sure the kids and I will be at home, so I'll just do breakfast for dinner, and that way, if we end up doing something else, I'm not buying a meal for that. We just always have breakfast stuff in the house. Wednesday, we'll do steak subs. Thursday, since I'm at work, I'll want an easy dinner, so we'll do chicken fajitas. Friday, we will do a freezer meal, and I'll just go down and kind of look and see what we have and pick one depending on who's actually going to be at home and eating. And then I don't normally plan Saturday and Sunday until Friday. And then Friday, I'll put in my meal plans and my grocery order for the following week. I'm just a little behind since we did have a death in the family this week. While I'm in the sidebar, I'm going to go ahead and write down the errands that I need to run. I've already thought of a couple more that I need to write in, but I will try and fit those around my doctor's appointments on Wednesday since I'll already be out and about around town. I do like to go ahead and put my grocery order in while I'm meal planning. I also add in any staples like bread, eggs, or milk, and then anything else my family has written on the list that I keep posted on the side of the fridge. But since I am late to the game this week, I won't be picking my order up until Sunday afternoon. I do have to run into the office and do some switch upgrades, and then on my way home, I will stop and pick up the few groceries that we need for the week. Normally, this saves me a ton of time. Next, I'm going to go to my Notion task list and just determine what the highest priorities are for this week. Last week, I spent resetting after Christmas, and this week, I'd like to dig more into actual tasks. Monday, I will be doing a few things for the celebration of life on Tuesday. But starting on Tuesday, I can start digging into other tasks on Notion. So the biggest thing that I need to accomplish this week is my making all the plans content calendar and brainstorming video ideas. If there's anything that you would like to see, let me know down below and I will try to pull a video together for that. On Wednesday, I'm going to try and get my professional development plan together for 2024. I just need to prioritize what I still need to do and what certifications I'm going to take. Then on Thursday, since this is an in the office day, I'm going to use this as a day to get anything done where it's easier to discuss things with people in person. And I think I might go back and change this to be surplus and inventory. Friday, I want to work on a monthly meal plan instead of doing weekly meal plans so that I can incorporate more of my freezer meals in there. Saturday is going to be weekly home blessing and Sunday will be my weekly reset. I'm really trying to put little triggers in my planner to remind me to revisit my resets and my routines. For the bottom section of my planner, there is already a place for personal to-do items and work to-do items. I like to go to the bottom right-hand side of my spread and draw in an area for my making all the plans tasks for the week. And I have been combining Saturday and Sunday, but I have not liked it. So I am going to draw out an 8 square grid, and they don't have to be perfect, just enough room to write a couple of things. And then I'll write Monday through Sunday on them and use those for my making all the plans tasks. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have to spend on making all the plans on Monday, so I am just going to spend a little bit of time brainstorming some video ideas. Tuesday, I would like to finish my content calendar for January, and then the rest of the week I will build out based upon what I decide on Tuesday. After I get this section sketched out, I am going to jump back into Notion and start pulling the things that I want to get done this week from Notion. And that left-hand side is broken down into top priority, priority, and other. And so as I'm copying over the tasks from Notion, I try to decide what level priority they are. So I would like to start my financial review early this year and also do a freezer meal inventory. I've wanted to do that for a while, so it's not the highest priority, but I would like to get to it soon just so I know what needs to be replenished. And then my highest priority for this week is to do some vacation planning and get my flights in line for both spring break and a trip that we're taking out west. And then I also want to look at my Frontier billing. We switched to fiber, and I don't think that the billing is right, so I may have to figure that one out. And then I'm going to jump over to work, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the next round of quotes started soon. I think we have 2 weeks before they're due, so I want to get that done. And then I want to schedule a Splunk one-on-one about telemetry streaming. I want to get my inventory and surplus list turned in. I need a plan going forward about giving Confluence permissions to people. So that is a pretty high priority, actually. It's time to start giving a lot of people permissions. And then my Cisco builds, those also need to be put in very soon. And then I need to build a ServiceNow catalog item on our cloud offerings so that people can request access to the cloud. I'm also going to add update security on Juniper upgrades, and that's because we just finished those this weekend, so I want to let security know that we have gotten those done. But given the available time that is on my calendar for the week, I feel like this is more than enough work stuff. I probably can add a few more personal items. I did add LSA, so I just need to submit a reimbursement. And then I'm going to look at what I've planned for the week and write down the top goals. Sometimes I start with my top goals and then break those down, but this week I really wanted to look at my to-do list, figure out what those top things were, and then make those my top priorities for the week. And then of those 3 top priorities, I try to have one be personal, one be work related, and one be related to making all the plans. The thing I haven't figured out about this new system is, say for example, professional development planning is my goal for the week and it is my focus for Wednesday. However, I did not put it on my work to-do list because I feel like it's repetitive. But should I put it on my work to-do list just so it kind of blocks out some of that area? I'm not really sure. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I will let you know if I do, but I did want to put just a little bit of decoration in my planner for the week. I don't like it completely plain, but I also don't want to overdo it. So I did just go to my flowers sticker book here, and I'm going to pick a few flowers that I like. They aren't necessarily wintry. They're just bright and cheerful and add a little bit of interest to the page. And I'll just put one on each edge of these group of boxes. And then the rest of this page is blank right now, but I usually use it to either write notes about these 3 goals or to write notes about future goals that I want to make. I do try to incorporate these 3 goals into my larger monthly and yearly goals. The professional development planning is definitely part of my larger goals. The celebration of life, you cannot control when that needs to be taken care of, so it is what it is. And then content calendar, that is also part of my larger goals of just staying on a consistent schedule. I do like having a lot of white space to write myself notes, to brainstorm, things like that. And then at the end of every week, I just make sure that everything that I have written down makes its way into Notion or onto the content calendar or wherever it needs to live permanently. That's one of the reasons why I like just having a weekly packet. That way, this weekly packet, I'm done with it at the end of the week. It gets removed. But the things that are in this particular week will either move forward to next week, have a place on my Notion page, or get put in the appropriate places. And then I will start another packet for the next week. And I'm hoping this keeps me excited and things feeling new and fresh. And as I mentioned before in some of my previous videos, if I do get sick of this Passion Planner layout, I have purchased multiple other layout options that are digital and I can just print on demand. So I do like having that flexibility. And I will link to where I go through what all is in my weekly packet. This is my faith planner pages, and I'm just going to put a couple flowers down here just for a little decor. Really what I do here is practice my handwriting, so there is color that I incorporate in this spread, but I just wanted to start with some flowers. So either tonight, which is Sunday, or Monday morning, I will start by either writing a prayer or finding a prayer that I want to pray each day this week. And then each day I will write in the Bible verse of the day, and I will practice my handwriting when I do that. I also do listen to Bible in a Year with Father Mike, and I do have a couple different places where I track that in my planner. So far, I've been good about listening to the Bible in a Year podcast, but this is a little bit harder to get into my routine. Also, last week, because we did have a death in the family, my exercise routine just didn't work. My main focus was just being ready for whatever might happen. So all my energy went to that, and I'm all right with that. I will reset and restart this week. It does make it a little easier though. I'm just going to copy over the workouts that I had planned for the most part last week. I'm just going to start on workout 2 instead of workout 1. I will say that workout 1 was much harder to do than I had expected it to be. So I am going to have to ease into this a little bit. I was a little more sore than I had expected to be. So the older that I get, the slower I have to start, I think. So I might be incorporating yoga even more than what I am planning. I do like the Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube, and I can link that down below also. The other thing that I am changing up this week is I am going to punch this and put it in my planner just to see if I like it better than stapling it. I definitely like having it stapled and sitting out on my desk, but I did misplace it a couple times this week, which annoyed me. So I'm going to try to punch it, put it in my planner, and see whether or not I like that. If I don't like it, I can just take it out and staple it again next week. But I am just trying to figure out what works for me best and how I can be the most productive. But thanks for coming along with me this week. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified of future videos, hit that little bell icon. And if there are things that you'd like to see from my planner, please don't hesitate to comment down below and let me know. Otherwise, I hope that everybody has a wonderful week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!